Hey guys, Kim here, Papa's Fix-It Shop. If you watched my last video where was it the last one? Or the one before? Anyway, it was about making a gear. I made a gear. And yeah, one of the subscribers pointed out that it looked like the gear was off center. And let me zoom this in to show you what it does. Alright, so this guy, move this out of the way. This guy is the one that I bought online. It's got spring-loaded steps so you can put various sizes on it, but it doesn't quite fit this holder. It's got enough wiggle room in there that when I went to cut it, would just shift over a hair. So I built the screw for it, but I decided to make one. So this is the one I made. So this guy, it clamps this cutter, these cutters. It's going to be strictly for cutting gears because this cutter has no side play. It is just barely big enough for this to fit on there. That goes on and clamp it down, and then this screw actually goes into a recess and makes it do its thing. So this is the first time I ever made an R8 cutter holder. You know, it goes right directly into the mill. So I'm going to set that down in case it wants to fall down. So that was what this video is all about, is making one of these guys. Yeah, I can't even scratch it. I can't get my fingernail caught. Yep. Okay, come on now, focus. There you go. So the first step, I drilled it out 5/16 course, which is the nut that holds the cap on. This guy turned it down to 32 millimeters all the way back. This is the widest part. And then I put an 8 millimeter step here down to exactly 22 millimeters, which is this guy. And it goes right there. I mean, it's so friggin' snug, I can't hardly turn it. So, come on, just slightest crookedness. There it goes. You there? Nice. All right. So then it's gonna get interesting now, because I gotta cut a taper and all that. Okay, so we're going to catch up here. I'm duplicating this, right? And it's about like that. See this line? That's about where it's supposed to be. Right about like that. Now I made this end a little longer to give me more clearance. But if you look, this guy's got this profile. This looks real deep because it's black, but it's right here. They are all right on the money. So now I got to cut a taper here to match this taper. Now, I don't have a really good way to measure a taper like this because I don't have anything that will fit. Do it with math, but my math is pretty bad. What I do know is if you look up the specifications of an R8 cutter, holder, whatever, this is an R8. And the R8 says that this is 16.51 degrees. So you divide that, or you multiply that by 2, and it becomes, what is it? 33. Yeah, 33.2 degrees. So I've gone and set it on here at 33, and like I read, like a RCH, a little more to see how close I get to it. So yeah, this is the part where I either succeed or scrap the metal. Stand by. Okay, let's see what happens. This is all compound. A little too big a bite. I gotta change the way my bit is angled because it's dropping flat against it. I need it to go in a straight line without getting so close that it cuts it. Stand by.
loose at 6 o'clock.
Let me see if that looks like it works. Okay. Well, I got the angle off, that's for sure. Let it cool off and fuss with it some more. See, right here is about where it needs to be. So I got the angle off somewhere. Or temp. Obviously 16 on this scale is wrong, so I'm going to try half of 16. And see what that does. You can't figure it out, start slowly adjusting. You know, it's obviously wrong. It's kind of like algebra. Sometimes you realize it's obviously wrong, but you don't know what the heck's wrong about it. All right, so here we go. Funky taper, that's for sure. But I can rise it up a little bit because I got extra room there. Wool is a really good polishing agent for this stuff. See, to totally truthful, I use a lathe more for fucking polishing than anything else at first. I want this taper nice and smooth so it doesn't fuck with the mill. Yeah, I had to use half of the angle of the thing on this lathe. It's like 9 and a hair. So the last thing I got to do is cut it off. And before I drill the hole in the end for the drawbar, I'll test fit it. If it fits, good to go. If it don't fit, throw it away and start over. Yeah! See that? Got wrapped around the axle. You can feel with your fingers as it gets smoother and nicer. It starts getting really hot because I'm putting a lot of pitching pretty hard. But you'd have to go for about, I don't know, 30 minutes to get a thousandth of an inch, if that much, using steel wool. Never want to get your fingers wrapped too far away around it. I get done, I'll use the polishing compound outside with a buffing wheel. It looks like new, because it is new. What does it look like? Looks pretty good to me. It looks like an R8. Where is it? Oh yeah, it's actually about here, but I want to make it longer so I got more clearance for my vise and stuff. Looking good. Now I'll test fit it. Well, I'm going to part it out now and see if it fits. Find out if I have an arbor or a paperweight. It's obvious I'm still learning the characteristics of this lathe now that I'm actually using the compound for, you know, precise angles and whatnot. Might have to lengthen this parting tool before I get all the way through because of the taper on the end. Oh yeah. I honed the shit out of this parting tool earlier with a stone, so it is super sharp. It's cutting great. All right, I got to stop and extend out this guy, and yeah. So this guy right here, I actually put a screw in here. I threaded a hole where I can put a little countersunk screw to hold this end of the parting blade in the socket, because it'll move. It'll pop out. Oh, bumped it. Let's see. How far in am I? Pretty close. I just need to go in about that far. And I gotta tighten this little screw that holds it in place. And then he said, I gotta grab this little fairly stiff scale and stick it right here, pin it on there with the compound to get over on the other side, and it's pretty vertical, so I'm gonna go with it. Let's see how she cuts. Seems to be cutting good. See, I got the camera where I would normally be standing trying to look in there. Look at that. Nice! There she be. So I need threads in this end, but before I do that, I'm going to make sure this sucker fits. Obviously I won't be able to screw it down, but I can shove it up in. No, I can't. I got to put a fucking keyway in it. Next step, keyway. Yeah. All right, so. Yeah, like a dumbass, I realized I can't put that in there to test it until I have a key in it, keyway. Can't put the keyway in until I go to the mill and mill a keyway in it. So I might as well put the threaded hole in here anyway. So 7/16 is 13/64 is the main drill. I got a quarter in there right now, so we're gonna see if we can drill a hole. Oh, by the way, I already went in there with a center drill to make a pocket. Forgot to film that.
Gotta get the chips out and break off the drill bit in there. Trust me, I know about that. So here I take about a half a turn on this lathe on the tailstock drive there and the pulley. And then I back it out and let it drop. Deeper than I'm going to get with that drill bit.
So we're going to put a, I think I said already, 30 seconds. No, 32 64s. What? Where did I get that number? We're going to back our tailstock all the way in the hole again. So let's see. We went about that far in there, so I got plenty. Let's go. Well, I don't like that much. Hold on. Let me look at this puppy. Oh, that's a pretty dull drill bit. I must have hammered it before. Drop to the next one down. Might need a new drill bit. If you got to choose a different one, choose one just smaller, you know. There we go. That's more like it.
Kind of a hard bump. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it with this the 32/64 drill bit, but let's see. We'll figure it out. Oh yeah. I need to back this thing back into the tailstock. I got too far out. It is.
Now I got a hole. So if you look, you see there's a punch on the end of this. There's a little hole right there in the end of the tap. So I put that hole in the punch and I slide it in there. See, I got to back it off a little bit. Okay, all the way. So I put it right there and it's pushing on it, and I lock the tailstock. See? That's all I can get. Anyway, tailstock's locked. And then I sauce it up real good. So on this lathe, I'll back it out a little more. I don't have a follower, so what I do is I put the thing in neutral where it's basically floating, and I turn it, and at the same time I'm turning the tailstock, so it's going in, feeding it in while I turn the chuck. When it gets a little tight, I just put the chuck key in there, turn it. See over here, I turn it and I feed this in all the time. This is too awkward. So let me get closer again so you can watch me thread it in there. So that's how I do it. See, it's going in. Just like that. I'm going to stop and just thread it. All right, I've manually threaded it down in there. And I get a little chamfer the opening action. And a nice big one because it's going to be down inside that spindle. Very nice. Run out and turn the air on.
is a drawbar out of the mill. Okay. So far, so good.
Okay, guys. This is it. It's in there. Check it out. Straight as an arrow, man. Perfect.